He didn't text back. And now, your mind is spinning. You're staring at the screen, refreshing, rereading, replaying every message in your head, wondering what you did wrong, what you should have said differently, or what he's thinking. You check his online status. You check if he viewed your story. You make excuses. Maybe he's just busy. Maybe something came up. And yet, deep down, you feel it. That sinking weight in your chest. That silence that starts to feel louder than any words ever could. And here's what you need to know. This exact moment is where your power is either taken or claimed. This is not about a man. This is not about a message. This is about how quickly you forget your worth. About how fast you slip into panic. About how easily you hand over your value for nothing more than breadcrumbs. Because let's be honest, it's never just about the text. It's about what it means to you. You tied that reply to your self-esteem. You attached your peace to his validation. And now that he's silent, your entire mood is shaking. That's not love. That's emotional dependency. And if you don't take control of it now, you'll keep repeating this cycle with every man who comes into your life. That's why this moment, right here, matters more than you realize. Let me say this clearly. You don't need a reply to feel secure. You don't need a text to prove your worth. You don't need closure or attention or an explanation to stand in your power. What you need is a mindset shift. You need to stop asking, "Why isn't he texting me?" and start asking, "Why do I feel like I'm not enough without him?" Because once you answer that, once you sit with that, the silence doesn't control you anymore. You do. Here's what happens when a man pulls back and you react with fear. You start chasing. You double text. You spiral. You try to make him remember you, make him miss you, make him respond. And in doing that, you destroy your own power. You become predictable, emotionally available on demand. You lose your edge. And worse, you teach him that your value is negotiable, that you'll lower your standards the moment he withdraws his attention. That's when he knows he can disappear, and you'll still be there, waiting, wondering, hoping. You want to know the real answer to, "He didn't text back. What should I do?" It's this: nothing. Yes, you heard me. Do nothing. Say nothing. Don't text. Don't explain. Don't react. Don't stalk his socials. Don't post a fake happy story just to get a reaction. Don't break your silence just to fill the void. Because if silence makes you uncomfortable, that means you haven't made peace with your own worth yet. And that's the root of the problem. Silence isn't a punishment. It's a test. It's the moment where you either collapse back into the old version of yourself who begs, proves, chases, or you step forward into the version who chooses dignity over desperation, power over panic, stillness over chaos. The woman who does nothing when he pulls back, she wins. Every time. Because her silence forces clarity. He's either going to respect her distance and come correct, or he's going to reveal that he was never that serious to begin with. Either way, she wins. Because now, she's not chasing. She's observing. She's not reacting. She's deciding. Most women lose themselves in these moments because they've been trained to believe that action equals value. If I don't respond, he'll forget me. If I don't chase, I'll lose him. If I stay quiet, he'll move on. But the truth is, what's meant for you doesn't require emotional begging. Real connection doesn't fade in silence. And if it does, that silence just revealed everything you needed to know. So let's talk psychology for a second. When you respond to emotional triggers with impulsive behavior, you reinforce the belief that your value is tied to someone else's actions. It becomes a loop. He pulls back. You chase. He gets attention. You lose self-respect. And this loop becomes a pattern. But when you interrupt that pattern with stillness, when you disrupt the expected by not reacting, the dynamic shifts. Suddenly, you're no longer the one seeking approval. You're the one holding space. You become the high-value presence that doesn't flinch under pressure. And let me tell you something about high-value energy. It's felt. Even in silence. Especially in silence. The moment you stop showing up every time he disappears, you become unpredictable. And that unpredictability triggers curiosity. Curiosity triggers thought. And thought, when it's about a woman who carries herself with quiet confidence, that's what makes her unforgettable. So here's what you do. When he doesn't text back, you lean back. You give space. You go cold. You take that energy you were about to pour into him, and you invest it into yourself, your body, your goals, your peace. You refocus. You reconnect with your self-worth. You remind yourself that you don't need a response to validate your existence, because when you live like a woman who already knows she's the prize, you stop auditioning for roles you don't belong in. The most dangerous woman is not the loudest in the room. She's the one who says nothing and walks away. The one who doesn't explain her silence. The one who doesn't chase answers. The one who has mastered her emotional response so well that rejection doesn't shake her. It reveals what was never real to begin with. That woman? She doesn't lose men. She filters them. Listen carefully. You are not crazy for wanting consistency. You're not wrong for desiring clarity. But you are responsible for protecting your peace. And if his silence is making you question your worth, you've already placed your power in the wrong hands. You don't text to prove you care. You don't reach out to feel safe. You don't beg to be seen. You stand still. You pull back. You move on without making an announcement. And if that scares him, good. That means he finally realized your energy isn't free. The truth is, men remember the ones who didn't beg, who didn't chase, who didn't lose themselves in the process of being ignored. They remember the woman who vanished with elegance, who disappeared with dignity, who stayed silent while he figured himself out, and was no longer there when he did. If you're tired of being the one who overthinks, overtexts, overgives, stop. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to be chosen. You are not here to convince a man of your value. You are here to embody it. That means holding your standard when it's hard. That means walking away without closing the door gently. That means being okay with not being understood. Because your peace matters more than his comfort. You want him to text back? Here's the truth. He will. But only when you're no longer dependent on it. Only when your world doesn't revolve around that notification. Only when your silence speaks louder than any words you could have sent. That's when he feels it. Not when you beg. Not when you check in. Not when you ask what went wrong. But when you do nothing, and your absence hits harder than your presence ever begged to. So what do you do when he doesn't text back? You shift the focus from him to you. You become colder, sharper, more focused. You remind yourself that the woman you're becoming doesn't flinch when someone goes silent. She observes. She detaches. She levels up. She understands that energy is currency. And she's no longer investing in anything that doesn't grow. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Let them feel your silence. Because once a woman stops reaching, the whole game changes. And that woman is you now.